All right, ladies and gentlemen, please may I request everyone to take their seats so we can start. I was screaming from the back, but clearly no one wanted to hear me. I was serious. Yes, please settle down, everybody. Hi, sir, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, everyone, welcome. Can we have a big round of applause, please? We're at this fantastic event. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you for the scanty applause, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's fantastic. Good evening. My name is Danish Sait. Welcome to Cricinfo Honours. This evening, we celebrate cricket, cricketers, and commentators who cricketers get mad about every single time. Our performance partner this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Ever Ready Ultima. And celebration partner, Johnny Walker Lux Blended Water. Sure. Along with Jindal Stainless, India's leading stainless steel producer. If you care about our sponsors, can you please give them a round of applause, everyone? With your permission, shall we start? Yes or no? Okay, we'll have to make this a little more interactive. Yeah, come on, please. Can we start this, yes or no? All right, great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to celebrate 25 years of cricket. And we have some legends in the room. People who made cricket what it is today. Can we please give them a round of applause, everybody? Yes, I'm not talking about the cricketers. I'm talking about the CMOs, brand managers, and sponsors who've given so much money to cricket. Dear brand people, if you have more money, we are happy to take it. 25 years of cricket, everything's changed so much. Back in the day, if you said, I watched cricket last weekend, everybody knew exactly what game you were talking about. But today, last weekend's game could mean domestic cricket, international cricket, franchise cricket, 100-ball cricket, 10-over cricket, celebrity cricket, retired cricketers coming out of retirement to play more cricket. Basically, there's too much cricket, and if there's no cricket, there's an award show honoring cricket. Earlier, if a batter took 10 balls to get off the mark, he was assessing the conditions. But today, he's breaking momentum, he should be replaced, he should stop focusing on social media and keep his head in the damn game. Before, a bowler's job. We have some bowlers here? Can we have a cheer for all the bowlers, please? Yeah? Before, a bowler's job was to take wickets. Today, he must also bat at number 8, field like a cheetah, and have good podcast communication skills. Am I right, Ashwin? In 25 years, cricket has gone from 8 cameras trying to find the ball to 35 cameras trying to find drama. Cricket, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, isn't just a sport anymore. It's a TV serial. Bro, did you watch yesterday's game? Yeah, man, that fight was so good. Bro, forget that. Did you see the bowling? Yeah, dude, he took the wicket, then he did this. Then he did this. And then, of course, he removed a chit out of his pocket. Where's mine? Where's mine? Where's mine? Where's mine? I left mine behind. But basically, I think everything's being done for Instagram these days. Do you guys agree? Yeah? A little bit for broadcast, but mostly for Instagram. Yeah, the GeoStar people are like, yeah, I wish we were Instagram right now. Look, but not everything has changed. Post-match chats still begin with, firstly, congrats on the win, followed by generic questions like, talk us through your innings. What was going on through your mind out there? How important was that partnership? You know it was important. You still ask, right? At the halfway stage, did you think this score was enough? To which players reply with, yeah, look, to be honest, credit to the boys, we stuck to our process. One game at a time, our roles were clear. We were given freedom to express ourselves. Basically, you can ask them anything. Is gravity important? Yeah, look, at the end of the day, we just wanted to execute our plans. Everybody's asking, everybody's saying, I don't know who's listening. By the way, thanks Cricinfo. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody, for celebrating 25 years of cricket now. Because there's a 15-year-old out there trying to rewrite everything we know about cricket. Can we please have a round of applause for this absolute sensation, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. By the way, he isn't at this event because his prices are too high and we couldn't afford an appearance here. Cricinfo, ladies and gentlemen, was started in 1993 by the British. And eventually it was taken over by the Indians, much like the sport of cricket itself. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to get this evening going, I would like to welcome on stage the face of Cricinfo. Please put your hands together for Raunak, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's give him a big round of applause. Raunak, welcome.
Man, tough crowd, huh?
Very tough crowd.
Yeah,
I really wanted to kill myself for a minute there.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the show has to go on.
Told you, come with the nags look.
I should have come with a nags look, you're right. Yeah. But you know what? I feel like I'm happy you're here. And cricket and Cricinfo as well has changed so much over the years. You all have gone from having serious discussions about cricket to this or that. Now you just put up pictures on Instagram, Virat or Rohit. Makes no sense. There is no question.
Oh, look what we're competing with, no?
I guess, yeah. Okay, good job. But take over, Raunak. Take over, take over. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, please.
Please give it up for Danish. A lot of what Danish has said is with a pinch of salt, huh? So I will try and put some context into the evening. Okay. Chalega? Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. So why are we here? I guess that's the first question. When we came up with this concept, when we wanted to celebrate cricket in the last 25 years, it's a beautiful thing, sport. And what is sport without heroes or memories and nostalgia? In a world where every moment can be a swipe and is therefore instantly perishable, sport affords us the luxury and the comfort of being able to dip into the warmth of the past and feel the glow. We at Cricinfo are immersed in the hustle of daily cricket. We live every moment of it, but every once in a while we also make the time to relive what came before, the springboard that the past provided for the present, the players and performances that inspired generations to come. 25 years is a brief time in history, but 2000 to 2025 feels like an era in cricket. When you look back at this period, it can seem as though the game has been completely reshaped, particularly by the influence of T20. But what defines greatness is timelessness. When you study the finest players who lit up the game in this time, you realize that even as the boundaries of what is possible keep shifting, cricket's essential craft remains tethered to its traditions. Batters still build their innings through placement and judgment. Bowlers still rely on extracting responses from the surface of the air. After all, 360 degrees brings you back to where you started. These observations held true in our exercise to put together a list of the greatest in the last 25 years, beginning with the greatest in men's international cricket, as picked by a panel of eminent former cricketers and commentators, some of whom are present with us today. We first compiled a long list of 70-plus cricketers based on the players' stats and by assessing the weight of their achievements. This was then narrowed down to 30 names after a rigorous process involving vetting by the site's senior editorial staff. The list of 30 was sent out to the jury, each of whom was asked to pick their top 25, which would yield us the greatest batter, greatest bowler, and the greatest all-round cricketer. This came on the heels of an equally elaborate exercise to pick the greatest cricketers of the women's game this century. So tonight, we celebrate excellence in this game we all love. And why us? Because celebrating cricket has been the sum of Cricinfo's life for 33 years, during which we have lived and cherished just about every moment of cricket. In bringing you the story of every ball and every match, every turn and twist, we have been with you for the whole ride. In moments of glory and those of despair, sharing your joy and your pain. While starving to be cricket's most faithful chronicler, we have always tried to be your essential match companion. The internet has been around in some form or the other since the early 1980s, but websites as we know them didn't come around till about 1993, by when, incredibly, Cricinfo already existed. Before Twitter, now X, before Facebook, now Meta, and Instagram, before Google and Hotmail, before smartphones, and even before proper web browsers, there was Cricinfo. The story of Cricinfo's trailblazing past is well documented, but for those of you who might be unfamiliar, it is a story worth retelling.
Whenever I wanted to find out something about cricket, the first name came to mind was Cricinfo, and that continues.
In 1993, there was no Google, no smartphones, no social media. The modern web browser didn't even exist. But there was Cricinfo. It was born as a lifeline for cricket fans without a television. And with it, live online sports coverage was born. Honestly, live coverage of anything online was born. 33 years later, that pioneering spirit and love for the game burn just as bright.
Oh, and it's worked perfectly for them.
Today, Cricinfo is a way of life for global cricket fans, keeping them connected ball after ball. It's the ultimate second screen experience. Fast scores and our iconic ball-by-ball commentary are a given. But today, our scorecards are complete match companions, packed with live stats, head-to-head comparisons, AI-powered predictions, and real-time fan interactions. Beyond the live action, Cricinfo makes sense of the game. It's driven by the most incisive experts and a stable of gold standard writers.
As a spinner, the one thing that you're up against is this blade.
The reason why Nicky P is not performing is because he stopped playing international cricket.
I don't think that's something that's holding him back. I think it's unique to his own action.
He's one of your core bowlers for the Indian cricket team. That's no small feat.
I don't see Rahane being a captain next season for sure.
This is a truly multimedia powerhouse. Groundbreaking narrative journalism sits right alongside snackable storytelling, long-form digital shows, and vertical videos you can rifle through in seconds. Stats Guru remains the default query tool for the cricket world. But we've introduced Smart Stats to redefine data in the T20 era, where mere averages no longer tell the full story.
Cricinfo is like a buffet for me.
It is certainly the most complete of the cricketing websites and databases, in my opinion.
Cricinfo is like the Google in the world.
I can get access to any match on the go.
This is your one-stop shop for all things cricket.
I've really enjoyed the fact that the website has allowed me to stay connected with this game that I love.
I love it. Fallen in love with it.
As Cricinfo, cricket is our heartbeat. We live for the game. We live the game.
That's very nice of the Cricinfo staff. That was part of their KRAs of the day. Now, Raidu, you might get nervous thinking that the clip that we put was Rane, KKR next season and all. I can tell you Venki Mysore has seen that before. He didn't see it over here. He's one. He just told you. If he tells you something, you know where it'll be next, in the form of a cryptic tweet. Right. But that is it. At the end of the day, whatever our opinions, we can all live under one roof with them, surely. And that is where Cricinfo comes in as well. Now, as you know, the original story, if I move away from the script, was cricket fans in the US didn't know what the score was, and they used to ring up home from an international landline. And therefore, two students in college said, let's find a way to tell people what the score is so they don't have to ring up home to find out what the score is. That is essentially the birth of Cricinfo. And even though times change, that is essentially where we are today, to try and give you the most honest opinion, score, and story around cricket. So for the love of cricket, which drives everyone who's worked here, and my God, there are some of us who worked here for a long, long time. And at the same time, we also are inspired by new leadership. And that is a great time to ask questions like, where's Cricinfo headed? What will it do going forward? Nowadays, everyone is an institution. Ashwin is competition to Cricinfo. AB de Villiers is also competition to Cricinfo today. But we're so happy you all are here today. Thank you, gentlemen. So might I, on that note, for the first panel of the evening, where we discuss, for the love of cricket, the Cricinfo legacy and beyond, might I invite Ishan Chatterjee, CEO of JioStar Sports, Sambit Bal, the editor-in-chief of Cricinfo, and one of the great broadcasters of the modern game, former West Indies pacer Eoin Bishop. Ish, good evening. Good to see you, please. Oh. We've got everyone's attention now. So if I may first go to the CEO of JioStar Sports, which actually isn't the most accurate first description, because Ishan Chatterjee was a cricket fan, and therefore a Cricinfo fan. Is that true?
100% true. In fact, before I joined, I used to think Sambit Bal was one of the biggest celebrities around, and when I met him in the office for the first time, I could barely speak to him. So yes, I'm a huge Cricinfo fan.
So you're intimidated by Sambit more than Bish right now.
He was a cricketer too, actually.
Sorry?
He was also a cricketer.
I've been very carefully and like good people told, never talk about your cricket if you've not played at the highest level. So we will stick to our strengths over here. What role did Cricinfo play in that part of your life? Just for context, Ishan, if you don't mind sharing.
I think I'm dating myself here, but the first time I used Cricinfo was when I was at university. And I remember I was in Delhi.
Sorry, Ishan, if you could just hold that mic closer.
When I was at university in Delhi, I used to take a rickshaw and go to a place called Kamla Nagar. And there used to be a cyber cafe there. And for everybody else in the room who may not know what I'm talking about, those were places where you had to pay for 30 minutes to be able to use a computer. And my only use case at the time was to go to Cricinfo and figure out what had happened because I couldn't wait for the newspaper the next day when I was in hostel. So I am a diehard Cricinfo fan for the editorials, for the live scores, for all the stats that sit in Stats Guru. And it was an integral part of my life at university. After that, many years later, I lived abroad for many years, and it really felt like my connection home. So I'm a huge fan.
Do you remember your earliest memories of Cricinfo at that time?
Yeah, of course I do. I remember which tournaments and which test series, and specifically which innings I used to follow. The 2001 India-Australia series, of course, is... I'm sure there are many people here who remember that, but I used to follow that religiously on Cricinfo.
Okay, beautiful. Now it's been 25 years since then, 33 years since Cricinfo, and very recently, I know he'll not want me to share this, but I have to, because I have to clear the air. A lot of people here think because Sambit Bal completed 25 years, we're having a grand event in his honor. That's not the case. That's not the case. It's been 33 years for Cricinfo. Mr. Bal, you've been here for 25 years. As he said at a very nice function that Ishan was kind enough to organize to celebrate Sambit, that I've seen 6 different companies at Cricinfo, but it's now moving through different eras. It was founded in a different era is what we'd like to believe. Question on everyone's mind, I guess, today is what's its role today in this age of instant accessibility to content, to data?
I mean, Cricinfo started with the founding sort of principles of connecting fans with the game. That hasn't changed. It's only that we have become a more professional enterprise, but we still wake up every morning to cover cricket, and sometimes we don't sleep because cricket is all the time. The thing is that two reasons why Cricinfo will always stay relevant, or any other site like Cricinfo, is that cricket is a very long game. Sid might hate me for saying it, but people don't, even if they want to, they can't watch all of it. No cricket is no...
Whatever is on JioStar is watched minute to minute, start to finish. I'm putting it there.
Still, cricket is the
other platforms very difficult.
The shortest format of the game is 4 hours. The longest is we don't know how many. So people need a website like ours to stay connected to the game because it's vital. No other game is like that. And no other game is also like cricket where every ball is a story. Every ball is an event. Every ball can be game-changing. So the story of a match is sometimes best read on ball-by-ball commentary. Because there's no way you can scroll through highlights or to really know the story of the game. So the narrative of the game is best followed on a website like ours. So those are the two unique things that make a website like ours relevant. And the other thing is that we started as a scores-only site and data-only site, but we have moved on to making sense of the game. And something that you do in the studios all the time, we have those, most of the stable of our analysts are sitting here. We have the gold standard writers all over the world. They make sense of the game through analysis, statistical insights, and through narrative journalism. That, I hope, will not go out of fashion.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, as a different kind of viewer, I can consume Cricinfo and watch highlights again and again. Both can be done with multiple devices. Yes. And now we even have Cricinfo's ball-by-ball commentary plugged and powered to the live games on Jio Hotstar. Thank you. But when we talk, essentially, it was the journalistic platform. Ian Chappell once kindly called Cricinfo the conscience of the game and said the game, the Lord knows, needs prodding every now and then by a conscience, and it will always be so. Comes to journalism, you say we have the gold standard of journalists everywhere. My question honestly is, does journalism still matter today when everybody creates content?
Yeah. I mean, there's too much of information, but not too much of knowledge. And that's where journalism is even more vital than ever before, because everybody is a creator, everybody has an opinion, everybody spreads out information, but if you want truth, journalism is vital. And I think it's more important than any other age, because you need reliable voices, reliable, considered opinions backed by knowledge. Or you need, if you want a credible source of news, you need to go to a website. I'm not saying Cricinfo is the only website in the world, but I'm just saying that journalism is important as long as truth is important.
Okay. Bish, your journey as a broadcaster and a former player, what role has Cricinfo played in your life as a consumer?
Cricinfo was the first time I had an affair outside of my marriage. The only time I've had an affair outside of my marriage. I was married to Cricinfo. That's the only time my wife would want to split up with me. From the point of view, the education it provided for me at my basic level as a broadcaster. Stats Guru was something that I lived on once I came in to the broadcasting space. You're still trying to smile because I said...
Well, you've seen this wife more than your own wife in most of your broadcast career.
Yeah, almost equal. And then I think the conglomeration of analysts, some of whom are gathered in this room, I call it the University of Cricket Education, where you have some of my colleagues sitting there. I know people that tune in to listen, as Sambit said, to their integrity. The writers are another part of Cricinfo's website and history that provide background understanding of players like no other. So from a complete point of view of understanding the sport, understanding the player, for me, Cricinfo has been the greatest education in this cricketing space.
That's beautifully put. What's the journey forward? If I can maybe jump straight there, and I think, Ishan, you'd be great to try and shed some light. A lot of us who work with Cricinfo are a little nervous sometimes. Where's it going? What will happen? What direction will it take, especially in an AI world, which sometimes we're still trying to understand? What's the future for Cricinfo?
Cricinfo plays a very integral part in JioStar's overall ecosystem because it meets a specific and distinct need that not any other part can actually meet, which is to serve the core cricket fan who wants to go deep and understand the entire story around the game. That's something that Cricinfo has been doing for 25 years. And the way that it is done has changed. So earlier on, it was just ball-by-ball commentary or live scores. But now we have you, we have all our wonderful partners here who create such amazing content across text, images, video. The consumption patterns have changed, but the mission of Cricinfo stays the same, which is to help the core cricket consumer know your game, the game that you love. And that core need will continue for us going forward. To your question about where Cricinfo is going next, I think we are trying very hard to see how we can integrate Cricinfo more deeply into the JioStar ecosystem. You spoke about one obvious integration, which is when you're watching the match, you have the scorecard, the ball-by-ball commentary. Maybe there's a place for us to do editorials, maybe some of your short-form clips. How do we bring those together? But with technology and with AI, there is a lot more that we can do.
Okay.
I'm happy to talk about it if that's of interest.
I can give you permission. No, please.
Well, so the obvious thing is, for example, much deeper integration, personalization across the different platforms. So if you are somebody who's really into test cricket, when you open up Cricinfo, you shouldn't be served an IPL type of content when you open up the ping, you should be seeing Test cricket. That's a very obvious sort of personalization that we can do. But the more interesting things, the use cases around AI, we're still experimenting with, and we still don't know what will work. But let's just take Stats Guru, what Bish was saying just now. It's still a pretty clunky experience where you have to go and make multiple clicks and you have to sort of work through stats that already exist. But imagine if that was conversational and you had an agent that you could speak to and say, I'm not interested in all these stats. I want you to pick the best bowler from this era, compare it to what's happening across T20 and customize it for yourself.
Wow.
And then if there is an artifact that you can then be served by Cricinfo, which you can then share with other people. I mean, the possibilities truly are endless with this. And we are very committed to making sure Cricinfo is very integrated into the wider ecosystem.
Beautiful. That actually is something, I don't know if you recall, Bish, you once sort of almost off-air just casually asked, what can AI do when it comes to servicing the content needs of a broadcaster? And you do try and integrate some AI into your own preparation, and we know your commitment to preparation when it comes to broadcast. Is something what Ishan's saying exciting? Your expectations of Cricinfo in an AI world? What do you think those will be?
Oh, look, I think for me, AI points me in the right direction, a lot easier to stories around the database. You still have to go to the authentic source. I don't think, forgive me, AI can sort of replace these women and men that sit in this audience here tonight as your good self, because the authentic information that comes from them is second to none. It's a great learning, but AI can allow us to access with greater creativity what these wonderful men and women have said historically. So I think it keeps me in a greater space, and I'm not every man or woman, and I'm sure there are different sort of reasons that AI would be beneficial to everyone. But I love the integration as long as the human side of it and the integrity still is the top of the tree.
Okay.
By the way, Bish.
Yes, please.
I wasn't suggesting at all that AI could replace any of the folks here in the room.
No,
what I meant was
from a... that either.
I meant from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah.
But, for example, I also don't think that AI can ever replace the experience of being in a dressing room, of what it feels like to be under pressure and all the insight that you bring to the game. However, on Stats Guru, for example, having that ability to customize and really personalize as a consumer, or even for you as a broadcaster, if we were to able to serve up information that would be relevant for you and how that would be different for Ash, I think that's the potential of where this could go.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's the question on everyone's lips across the world. That balance between AI technology and the human element. There are a lot of people scared about what the future means. So for you to clarify that, I think is an outstanding thing, because I still think that human interaction with the Moody's, the Mandrakers, the Aaron Finch, the Dale Steyns is second to none.
Mr. Bal, how are we adapting in an AI age?
I think Ishan has already answered it. Bish has articulated it. I would say that AI will help us unlock many things to unlock and scale. But luckily, we're in this business where sports is flesh and blood.
Sports is?
Flesh and blood.
Ah.
And every sporting experience is real. It can't be scripted. It's new. You can't predict it. And it's very human. It's full of imperfection, individuality, personality. So that's something that to bring those stories to life, you also need humans, because fans will relate to human beings. Fans will relate to all the imperfections in our worlds also. So I think bringing cricket live I hope, will always remain a very human endeavor.
So as long as humans are around, Cricinfo will be around. That's what I take.
As long as humans are playing the game.
Oh, humans are playing the game. Okay, that works. That works fine. There was an SVG summit once that PK organized where Sky Deutschland did a thing of the AI presenter. And the future of sport involves the AI presenter. Mr. Sapru, Abhinav, you should hear this. It is nowhere near a reality in the next 20 years for live. We are good. And on that note, long may the idea of honest cricket information, stories, research live. Thank you so much, Ian Bishop, Sambit Bal, and Ishan Chatterjee. Let's hope that Cricinfo continues to serve the many sports fans in this beautiful game. Thank you.
चड्डी बड्डी उनके डांस को मिलती पप्पी झप्पी पर बड्डी की साधारण बैटरी हो सुई सैडली दोस्त ने दी फिर क्विकली एवरेडी अल्टीमा बैटरी बड्डी हो गया स्माइली फिर मिली ताली पप्पी झप्पी
बच्चों की टॉयज को दीजिए एवरेडी अल्टीमा का अपग्रेड एवरेडी अल्टीमा 400% longer lasting.
What happens when the game changes? You keep moving. You keep slaying. Keep celebrating. And if they keep talking,
Keep them talking.
because no matter how far you've come, you keep walking.
Is Mr. Ajit Agarkar here by any chance? Sir, where are you? Is Mr. Ajit? There you are, sir. Hi, good evening, sir. Lovely to meet you. Just wanted to ask you, sir. Yeah. Can I have a mic, please? Can a mic please be handed over to sir, please? Do we have anybody who's listening to me right now? I can leave. Like, you know, if it wasn't televised, I have so many other things I could say. Ma'am, give me the damn mic, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, you can come. You can also come. You can give it to Mr. Ajit Agarkar there. Sir, welcome. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening.
Okay. So, I wanted to ask you, you know, the World Cup winning squad that we just saw there, congratulations. Do you sometimes look at this team and go, man, what a good team I selected?
Better be careful what I say. Nothing gets taken out of context and...
No, it will be taken out of context. Just run with it, it's fine. That's exactly what we want.
So obviously, it's nice to relive that moment because I was there and yeah, it's nice to pick that team.
You know, it's a country of more than 1 billion people. I want to know how many innovative ways have you found to tell people, sorry man, not this time, I'll take you for the next series.
I'm trying to still find ways. It's an everyday process.
What's the most innovative one you've come up with?
No, don't put me on the spot. Maybe not the night. There's a selection coming in a few days, man.
Well done. All right, let's pass the microphone over to Mr. Ian Bishop, please. Sir, are you, which cricketer were you stalking on your phone just now, sir?
I was preparing for the final tomorrow.
Wow. And look at all our other Indian commentators right now. They're enjoying the show. They're like, oh, thank God there's no cricket today, man. I don't want to speak about these guys playing anymore. Okay, cool. So, you know, when you said Carlos Brathwaite, remember the name. Ironically, everybody remembered your name after that. What did you think when you said that line? Did you think it would be so iconic?
No, I don't think at that point for me, I don't know of anyone else's experience when, certainly when I was on commentary then, and it's the same with commentary every time, whenever you call a moment, I'm not thinking about the legacy of that moment. I'm so sort of into what is happening on the field that what I'm speaking is coming from inside and telling the story of what is going on the field. However it's received or interpreted outside of that, as was that moment, it was authentic in the moment because of something that had happened a day or two before at a similar function that I went to. So that came out. So no, I'm not thinking about 3 months down the road or 3 years down the road when I'm speaking about a moment.
Sir, I want to ask you, you know, the insights that you bring about players. Are you a stalker? Do you have a private detective company? Where do you get this information from?
Cricinfo.
Well done. That's it. Mic drop. Thank you very much, sir. Cricinfo is going to be so happy. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know what event you're at, it's the Cricinfo Honours. That's all we've been talking about. You know, so forget the buzz bit of it, okay? Just info. Cricinfo. Cricinfo. I'm saying it, Cricinfo, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first set of awards. Are we ready for that? Don't respond, it's fine, sit down. The first award we are presenting today is the best T20 bowler of the century. And to give this award, I would like to call on stage Mr. Ian Bishop. Let's give sir a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a mic there. So you could be in the center, sir.
Right.
Please.
So you tell me when.
About now, sir.
All right, there we go. I'm so delighted tonight on a personal and a professional level. As one who has a deep love for fast bowling, to be announcing this award as a skillful fast bowler of the modern game has witnessed, or as skillful a fast bowler as the modern game has witnessed. He has been called many things, good things: a magician, a genius, a genie, a superhero, certainly one of my heroes. He has been ever so often been the point of difference when it matters most in all formats of the game, but more so a T20 game. A two-time ICC Men's T20 World Cup champion, a five-time IPL champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest men's T20 bowler, Cricinfo Honours, Jasprit Bumrah.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to Jasprit Bumrah. Since he could not be here tonight, we would like to show you some of his most memorable moments, and there's also a short message from him.
Honestly, this one means a lot. 25 years, a jury of legends, and to be named among the 25 greatest men cricketers of the era is really cool. I wish I could be there in Mumbai tonight, but I want to thank the ESPNcricinfo panel, the jury, and everyone who's followed this game so closely. Cricket has given me everything, and it has taught me my valuable life lessons. Thank you, ESPNcricinfo. This is truly special. Cheers.
So sweet. Just beside him, there was a guy standing with a gun, because he said ESPNcricinfo like twice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our second award is for the best T20 batter of the century. And to present the award, I would like to call on stage a man who most batters fear, be it on the ground or in a podcast studio. Please welcome R. Ashwin, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, joining Ashwin will be Mr. Arun Kumar Sahai, Senior Vice President, Ever Ready Industries. Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Love your batteries, sir. Great batteries.
Danish, should I follow the script? Or?
No, you can say it your way.
Okay, cool.
Don't follow it. Just say the right name, that's all.
Yeah, you've given my podcast a real push this evening. Thank you. Look, I think I'm a big Test cricket nuffy, and I followed Test cricket for a very long time before I broke through. So happy to be in the midst of some great legends here. But this one was really special. I saw this man walk out to play for South Africa at Port Elizabeth for the first time. The Kookaburra bat that he had in his hand, the cover driving, just so sumptuous to watch you bat. Eventually, I never knew T20 would emerge and you would play the sport and give us headaches over a lot of years that you ended up doing it. You defied physics, and that's the only part of the script I love, AB. It says you defied physics and geometry. You totally did. I've only seen in maths textbooks all those lines being used. You did. I still remember a lot of encounters that I had with you. Could proudly boast to my children and a lot of my future students that I might coach that I did get you out a few times. But tonight's not about that. You truly redefined the game, and you are an absolute legend of the game who has defied T20 cricket. And today it's my pleasure. I'm not even sure if I should do this, but I'm going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest men's T20 batter, Cricinfo Honours, Abraham Benjamin de Villiers.
Congratulations, AB. Thank you very much, Ashwin. Okay, AB, congratulations on the award. The greatest T20 batter. Must feel great.
It is special. Yeah, firstly, what a great evening. I was a little bit worried when I first stepped in here. Lots of people, lots of faces that I haven't seen for many years. I was worried I wasn't going to remember most of the names. But it was just great to catch up with everyone that you don't often see in the cricketing circles these days. And what a great honour to be here tonight. Should I stop there or can I make a few thank yous?
You have to make some thank yous and tell us how you're this great, please.
No, just the normal stuff. ESPNcricinfo, obviously the fans, fellow players, everyone of the panel who I don't know who decided exactly that I should be standing here. I thought there was quite a few other players that could be holding this trophy here now, but it's an incredible honour. Absolute dream come true to have played as many games as I've played over my career and to be named as the best batter in T20s over the last 25 years in the ESPNcricinfo panel is a great honour, so thank you very much.
AB, one last question. RCB on the brink of another trophy?
Yes.
You think it's going to be RCB's day tomorrow?
I think so. I'm nervous. It's GT's got a lot to be confident about, playing in Ahmedabad the way they've played, that win the other night. Even though the Suryavanshi factor was there, they still came out on top, and once again shows you that good bowling attacks tend to come out on top at the end of the day. So I'm worried about that bowling attack in the final, but I think it's going to be edge of the seat stuff and a fantastic final, and hopefully a close one, and for all the fans around the world to enjoy.
Thank you for the analysis, AB. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from reminiscing the past, let's take a look into the future. There was a time when batting was like fine dining, precision shot picking, elegant batting, but with the eruption of T20 batting, we are now served a buffet spread of shots, ram shot, scoop shot, reverse shots, which hit, what next? Cartwheel 6, handstand slog shot, back facing reverse helicopter. I don't know, maybe not. But to understand where T20 batting is going, let's welcome on stage our next panel. That's going to be hosted by Abhinav Mukund, and with a man who I think the logo of IPL is inspired by, Mr. A.B. de Villiers. May I please request you all to start coming up on stage. A cricketing mastermind disguised as a spin bowler, R. Ashwin, and a man who's played for almost every IPL franchise. Missed out on Lucknow Super Giants, unfortunately. Aaron Finch, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give all of them a big round of applause. Abhinav.
I'm coming from the back, Danish.
Oh, wow. That's a damn good entry, bro.
Nice. Well done.
Okay, well done. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the honor of having me. 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be hosting Innovation in T20 batting if you've seen me bat. But let's go. We've got A.B. de Villiers, R. Ashwin, and Aaron Finch with us. So I decided to break this down. It's a pretty serious chat about T20 batting and where it's heading. Decided to break it down into 4 components. And I'm sure all of the people that have played in the highest level would be pretty aware of it. The physical aspect of it, the technical aspect of it, the mental aspect, and the tactical aspect. So let's start off without wasting too much time about the physical aspect of it, AB. The entire world thinks about how you played multi-sports. You've grown up on a diet of hockey, football. Has that impacted you in any way in your innovation? Because you're one of the pioneers of all of these pyrotechnics we've seen on the field.
Good question. The physical impact of what I'm feeling right now is, I spoke to my wife prior to this function, and I was telling her, listen, I didn't bring socks for this occasion, and I didn't think I was going to have to sit down at any stage, but she told me it was a nice look. And here I am sitting down with no socks on, so the physical embarrassment is not great. But she says it's a cool look, so coming back to your question, all seriousness. Playing other sports, it worked for me growing up. I think every player out there will have a different recipe. I think of someone that's hot on the lips of everyone right now, Suryavanshi, who obviously didn't see a lot of other sports. It was all cricket, I think, growing up, and he's only 15 years old, and he's made it. He's still growing up, exactly. At the age of 15, cricket was by no means anywhere near my thinking tank of having that I was going to do a professional career in that sport. I was playing rugby and hockey and all kinds of different sports that I think helped me a lot with my development, and that was my journey. And I just think that's the moral of the story is every guy's journey is different. Every player or individual will react differently to a different upbringing. For me, it was different sports which helped me shape my kind of technique in cricket ultimately.
I think for us, when we grew up, we were growing up on a diet of test matches and ODIs. These kids now grow up on a T20 diet. And I'm sure Ash and I, we go back a long way, Finchy, because when we were young, we used to think Ricky Ponting's forearms are so big and he can hit such big sixes. We used to have that grip strength to try and make it bigger. Genetically, we're not as blessed as some of the Australians. How do you think the revolution in six hitting has gotten that far? In your own admission, you say Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is still developing, and you put him in a room with Chris Gayle, Andre Russell, and he's gone past them comfortably.
Yeah, it's a good question. And again, cricket's not all about strength. It's not a game that revolves around pure strength. You've got guys of different genetic makeups, of different sizes and weights and everything, that are still as successful as each other over a long period of time. I mean, you look at Sachin Tendulkar and you look at Joel Garner, two people that have been elite at their game in two different components, but two gifted in different ways. So as an Australian growing up, you've got an outdoor culture, a team sport culture, a generally youngsters growing up playing adult sport from a young age, which I think is a totally different mindset compared to growing up and playing just with your age group the whole way through. So you have a few different reasons for guys' development, and that also happens at different ages. We're seeing a 15-year-old now destroy T20 cricket, but some guys develop and fully come into their own at 25. So I think it comes down to more the understanding of what it takes to become a very good player and the nurturing around them, as opposed to just focusing on the genetics and the brute strength. But don't get me wrong, the time and effort that guys put into the gym now is so much more than when I first started, as you can probably tell. But I think a lot of that's more based around Instagram than the need to be successful on the field.
Ash, you've been on ground zero. Is that a reality where you're seeing younger kids develop and looking at hitting sixes and practicing them a lot more than you once probably started?
Us probably, Abhinav. You did say that we grew up together, didn't you? When I first started going to a camp, Abhinav was 5 years and his father had brought him to the academy for the first time. So that's how long we go back. But you are right. Look, I think when we were growing up, we were taught to defend the ball. There are a lot of coaches here, there are a lot of cricketers here, but the thing is, cricket is one great self-taught sport. In that a coach or a mentor or anybody could just be a guide who can just, travel with you to enable you to get better. When you defend 100 balls in a day, you're eventually going to figure out how you're going to keep that ball down, how you're going to knock it right next to you. But now, the economic model of the game is asking all these children to go out there and tonk those balls, right? And when I'm feeding deliveries to young children, I'm telling them myself, hit it a long way. You might end up getting a crore contract, a central contract, but if you hit it a long way, you're probably going to earn 15. So why waste time on something that's not going to fetch you a lot? Like I said, you drive through those balls and hit them a long way. I think you can teach young children to what exactly Vaibhav Sooryavanshi has showed us over the last couple of months.
So it's definitely coachable for young kids to possibly hit the ball a long way. Let's move on to the mental aspect of things. And I'm sure everyone in this room who follows the game would have seen you completely dismantle one of your best friends, Dale Steyn, in an IPL game. Which begs the question, a word that's thrown around a lot with commentators is, there is no respect. Are we redefining respect in terms of what the batters are doing to the bowlers nowadays, in terms of hitting them to all parts?
I had way too much respect for bowlers growing up. The first 5 years of my international career, it was very similar to what Ash said now. Is you grow up, I was growing up watching the Australian Test team, for instance, the Indian team, England, and not long after I found myself actually playing there against some of my heroes, and the respect was huge. So that definitely influenced my performance. So I think when you represent your country and you're a professional athlete, that can't be part of your makeup when you're playing. So it was definitely sort of one of my obstacles that I had to overcome. I think ultimately what it comes down to is competition. It's between you and the ball. When the bowler lets that ball go, it's literally you just showing off your skill. And from a mental point of view, you mentioned the Dale Steyn evening, and that's me sort of breaking out and completely being free out there. And that's the kind of advice I give to youngsters these days when they ask me about how do you do it, and I always ultimately end up by telling them just what Ash said now. You have to find yourself, your authentic way of playing cricket. You can copy, but you can't paste. You can copy and then you have to paste your own way, your own creative, innovative way of playing the game. So ultimately when you break free like that, that's where you become mentally a bit stronger.
So when you break free in that manner, are these younger generation players not looking at the field as much? Don't fielders matter? Because this is the first thing that they're thinking, hitting out of the ground, then a result of that is a boundary 4 or a single or a 2. Is that what you felt, Ash?
Look, I think T20 cricket has really, escaped the imagination of all us cricket geeks over the years, right? It's just left a certain, it's made a paradigm shift. And when I say that, I want to revert to what you asked with respect to fear, right? Or do they fear anyone or something like that? What was that? With respect to bowlers. Yeah, respect. Okay. I think we are confusing respect with the fear of unknown, right? Okay. Like, for example, in the 90s or 2000s, when we heard of great bowlers, you went out there wanting to bat against them and you had this fear of the unknown. Okay, he's got so many wickets, I'm going to handle it and see how it goes. These kids nowadays, by the age of 15, have already hit 10,000 balls. So they know how exactly they need to bat to send that ball a long way away. So there is no fear of unknown. They are simulating against bowlers. They are practicing for the tough yards that they'll have to encounter in a game. So basically, it's not respect. You hit a 6, shake hands. That's respect.
Okay. Hitting a ball a long way is where I will take the segue into the technical angle of things. And Ambati Rayudu and Tom Moody were talking about how the game has changed into an open backlift where batters are employing these days. And when you slice the ball, I don't play as much golf. I'd never played baseball. Apparently the ball goes a long way when you slice the ball rather than top spin the ball and the ball goes down. This was exactly verbatim quoted by Ambati Rayudu. Finchy, if you can elaborate on that, please. And is that why ball is flying off nowadays?
That's just a different way of looking at it. In baseball, yes, you slice the ball, means you cut under the ball. It's got longer hang time. In golf, you slice the ball, it goes shorter. So there's different techniques to everything. And just to touch on what the other guys are saying, now guys are growing up training to hit the ball a long way. And the first time that I've seen a guy change his game to a big open bat face was Tim David. He when he first started playing professional cricket, he was a traditional finisher. He'd stand there, he'd try and hit the ball as far as he can. He'd miss hit more than he got out of the middle because he was trying to hit the ball with a square bat face, and you get that slightly wrong. You get top spin on the ball and it dives out of the air quicker. So he turned up one day and he'd done a lot of research, he'd done a lot of work with a baseball coach, and the bat face was slowly getting more and more open. And I thought, that is not sustainable. Like, your timing has to be absolutely perfect to get the ball in the air. But the strength and the long levers and everything that goes with power hitting towards the back end, that was just an added bonus to the rest of it. So I think cricket is a great game to be able to pick different parts of different games and not always implement them where they should or where they directly correlate, but things that can add different parts to the game, and whether it's an open bat face for a guy who bats at number 6, or it might be hip turn for a guy who bats in the top order, or how square their shoulders are for a batter. I don't understand the mechanics of bowling. Ash could probably talk more about that relative to other sports, but there's just small parts, and like AB said, with him growing up playing a lot of different sports, it's not hard to see how they have an influence on different parts of your game. Might not be now, might not be next week, but naturally, when you've done that for 15 years growing up, that becomes a part of who you are.
Are we still rewriting the book for T20 batting? Because when when we were growing up, it was back and across, leave the ball, get closer to the ball. Now we're seeing guys going away from it a lot more. Tactically, they're trying to muscle the ball a lot more. Are we still rewriting the technique for T20 batting, Abhi?
The game will always change and it will always evolve and get bigger, stronger and better. But ultimately it comes down to the fact that you have to be adaptable. Once again, Suryavansh's name comes up, but he had the ability the other night when I was watching him play to do exactly what Finch was talking about. Now, he came under it to undercut it a bit, to get it up in the air with a bit of revs going backwards like a golf ball, to get it to clear. And the ball's above the shoulders of a couple of bowlers. He actually had to topspin, because you can't get under that because then you're out, which you ultimately did get out to. But that is the adaptability that you're going to need moving forward as a batter. Not one ball is the same anymore. The bowlers are getting more clever out there and smarter. They are adjusting their plans. They have their field set in certain places. They study you. You have to adapt on the night of what you're confronted with and find a way to overcome that by using your brain and then skills that you practice over many years.
Talking about adapting, and I feel personally, Ash, that batting skill has adapted and they're trying to hit a lot more. Scores are going up, strike rates are going up. Do you think that bowlers haven't adapted, evolved as much?
It's a very interesting question. The answer needs to come in two parts. Because bowlers are having to adapt at a pace that they've never had to adapt over the last century or so. Test cricket has evolved, pitches have changed, weather conditions have changed, but T20 cricket, again, I go to the same topic. The economic model of the game is going to keep it as a high-scoring sport. With that, the bowlers will need to understand that wicket-taking will eventually fall by the wayside and we need to hunt as a pack. And that will take some time because, look, it's never going to be easy to change what's there in the genetics, right? And cricket as a sport, in general, has stayed a bit slow in terms of wanting to change. And that's largely stemming from insecurity of the players. But I would say a lot of other sports around the world have evolved to a feedback-based coaching. When I say that I couldn't hit a ball, you know me very well, I couldn't hit a ball for a six. But then I had to embark on a journey where I had to go through baseball camps and take feedbacks. It instantly tells you, like what you were talking about, Finchy, on what happens when you get the impact right. And you will have to solve that problem for the next delivery that a pitcher throws at you. Cricket has reached a space where I would say we have embarked on a smart cricket phase where bowlers and batters will have to get into problem solving, not one season after the other, game after the other, ball after the other, over after the other. When we embrace this, we will see a different level of execution from both batters and bowlers.
Embrace the innovation. Finchy, you think there is a higher ceiling than what we're seeing today in terms of scoring rates, strike rates and sixes being hit? Do you think there's a higher ceiling to this?
Oh, I don't know, and that's the honest answer. Each and every year that T20 continues to evolve, I don't think it would be just me. I think everyone would sit there and say, where is this going? How can this improve? How can this continue to raise the bar? But somehow it does. So to ask the question, where is it going? I honestly cannot tell you. And at what point do we normalise somebody making 700 runs, striking at 240? Like that's ridiculous. and we've never seen it before for good reason, because it is crazy to think about. And I just want to touch on something that Ash talked about there when you're talking about bowlers. Maybe it gets to the point where we start to normalise the extraordinary, like that becomes the norm. Guys, and we're all from an era where we grew up playing T20 cricket as it was evolving. So we were learning T20 cricket as it was starting. These kids now, their first introduction into cricket is T20. So like Ash said before, their first goal is to hit sixes. And if you take away the mindset of, well, don't get out. Kids, that's not their mindset now. It's, I could change my life if I hit 3 sixes. We've seen that. We've seen guys walk in and when I started, 2010 was my first IPL year, your job was to get 20. So you got one more game. And then you try and smack a few. And that was consistent with IPL, with playing state cricket, with playing for Australia. Now kids say, if I hit 3 sixes in 5 balls, that changes my life. It's not about the amount of runs or anything like that. So it's just a different mindset. But to answer the original question, I actually have no idea.
Okay, thanks, Finch. I think there is still so many uncapped Indian players whose ceiling is still higher up there. Just 3 mentions of Suryavanshi, Agarkar Saab, no pressure. Thank you so much, Aaron Finch, R. Ash, and AB de Villiers. That was innovation in T20 batting. Thank you so much.
उनके डांस को मिलती पप्पी झप्पी पर बॉडी की साधारण बैटरी हो सुई सैडली दोस्त ने दी फिर क्विकली एवरेडी अल्टीमा बैटरी बॉडी हो गया स्माइली फिर मिली ताली पप्पी झप्पी
बच्चों के टॉयज को दीजिए एवरेडी अल्टीमा का अपग्रेड एवरेडी अल्टीमा 400% longer lasting.
What happens when the game changes? You keep moving. You keep slaying. Keep celebrating. And if they keep talking,
keep them talking.
Because no matter how far you've come, you keep walking.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2011 World Cup. That's when an entire nation dedicated this win, our win, to one man, Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. Let's give Sir a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Also, can we please give Sir a mic? Hi, Sir. So to begin with, what can I ask you about that World Cup that you already haven't spoken about? Help me, sir. Give me a question that I can ask you.
You've surely caught me off guard.
All right, so let me make this simple, right?
I'll tell you one joke.
Yeah.
This was during the World Cup, the camp that we had in Bengaluru, and we were practicing. And a couple of guys, I told them that as kids we used to get limited time to play. So in that, all right-handed batters had to bat left-handed, and all left-handed had to bat right-handed. So that in the limited given time in the evening, we could complete 2 innings. So I said, I can hit sixes. And I started batting, and I hit a couple of sixes left-handed. And there were a couple of articles where Sachin is going to use secret weapon. That is, he's going to bat left-handed in the World Cup if need be.
Great, so speaks, the standard of our journalism has remained the same since then. Right. So is there a moment that you can think of, one small moment away from the cameras that has stayed with you the longest since then?
It's hard to figure out one moment that, but during the camp we did all sorts of things, mainly the bonding exercise, and generally everyone was talking about how to handle pressure. And the thought was that, wherever we go, people are going to ask us about pressure. When we were flying, we were told, you have to win the World Cup, but no pressure. We have to score runs, don't take any stress. So those kind of moments were there. So we had a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions where how to channelize pressure, in which direction. The direction of pressure is really important. If it's sitting on your shoulder and pushing you down, you're going to sink slowly but surely. But imagine billion-plus people walking ahead with you, marching in the direction we all 15-member squad wanted to. Very few people can stop that team. And that was something which stayed with me. And I shared that with a number of youngsters, that it's the direction of pressure.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And sir, I just have one more question. We're celebrating 25 years of cricket, and every time there's an insanely good talent that comes around on the scene, everybody says, this is the next Sachin Tendulkar. Do you sometimes sit in a room by yourself, closed, and scream, guys, I am Sachin Tendulkar, my records are still intact, stop comparing people to me? Do you sometimes do that?
It just helps me realize my age. No, but I mean, everyone is talking about Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and I watched him bat.
Yeah.
It was magnificent. I mean, it's something truly special. And not just the ability to hit the ball, but what also fascinated me was the wrist work that he has. And that allows, for any good batter to be able to play in all directions of the ground, you need good wrist work. And he's not slogging the ball. He's just picking the line and length earlier than the rest of the guys, and he's able to clear the rope comfortably.
Thank you very much, sir. Brands, you can all run to Vaibhav Suryavanshi now and throw your money at him. Now, I actually want to ask Ashwin a question right now. Ma'am, this is Mr. Ashwin. I've been told point. Okay, so I want to ask you this, right? Unfortunately, you couldn't play in that test that we just saw right now. What is more severe, your back spasm or just your urge to be a part of that game that day?
I actually did want to play that game. Took a lap in the morning, but just couldn't stand up, man. It was very hard. But I did miss not playing the game, but I was there on all 5 days, cheering Ravi Bhai along, and of course, our coaching staff. I was managing the coaching staff for that particular test match.
I thought as much. It's very hard to keep you out of the game. How much were you involved in making those tactical decisions as well?
Nothing, just layering the decisions that go out to the boys, because I think have you been to the Brisbane dressing room? No, you haven't. So there is a watching area.
They don't take me out of India. They keep me in Mumbai at best.
You had a few cheeky questions. This is my one shot at it.
No, I didn't, man. I've never been to Australia. Are you taking me with you?
Next time I'm there, you're also there.
Okay, great. Aaron, please, visa recommendation. Sorry. Yeah.
So look, the viewing area is there, and there is a glass partition. And Rohit and Ajinkya, they were all sitting on the other side, and I was sitting with the coaching staff inside. There were some insane messages that were getting relayed. And Ravi Bhai's box office, when you watch these test matches, there was an instance where he was fuming, picked up the bottle, he wanted to drink it, didn't know
what was in the bottle.
Nothing. It's a glass bottle, just water.
Water.
Just water.
Okay.
Guys,
I don't know. You said bottle. My dirty mind went to place.
He loves test cricket and just enjoys watching it. The ups and downs. You don't need to watch the game. You watch him, when the ups are happening, when the downs are happening. He was about to drink, and there was a catch drop. And he just flicked the bottle, and somebody ducked, hit the wall, and it just broke. It was insane, the kind of vibe that test match had, right? And on the morning of the day, for some strange reason, I picked up Twitter, and there is this famous handle called the Tamil Nadu Weatherman. He predicts weather across the world, and he said it was going to rain in Brisbane. We were lagging behind the test match, so every time he would turn to me, there was a sun up there. When is the rain coming? I said, Ravi Bhai, I am not the weather blogger, but he did say. So we were having that weather blogging on one side, and the other side with Ravi Bhai's ups and downs. That's the beauty of test cricket, right? And later part of the game, Rohit wanted Rishabh to go for the win. Ravi Bhai wanted to play for the draw, and that just kept egging and flowing for the next 2 hours. Insane viewing and a great test match.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. Round of applause. Aaron Finch, I want to ask you this. That India-Australia test match where Harbhajan Singh took a hat-trick and there was a whole bunch of things that happened. My team tells me you were 18 years old then.
No. 15.
So you're 15? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, around there. Like, basically, your parents were paying for you.
Yeah, they still are.
Great. Great. Right? I want to ask you, how did that game shape you as a cricketer?
Made me understand that umpiring isn't all that it's made out to be. I'm only joking, just joking. Again, but besides the Ashes, Australia winning in India has always been the biggest goal. It's been one that Australia hasn't been able to conquer. Regardless of how you start the series, India always have found a way to claw it back and win convincingly in the end. So every person is on the edge of their seat anytime Australia play Test cricket in this country, and it's beautiful to watch.
Thank you. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You mentioned something about umpires. Do we have an umpire in the room? Wow, Cricinfo. Well done. Wow. I don't know, sir. I mean, did you make the guest list? No. Okay. AB, I have a question for you. We saw that famous game between Australia and South Africa, and if I'm right, you had just been in the squad for about 15 months up until that point. How much did that game shape your batting for the rest of your career?
I didn't score a lot in that game. It was an incredible roller coaster ride of a series. But just sitting on the side, what I saw there is I still had beautiful long blonde hair. That's not the case anymore. That shaped South African cricket to a certain extent. Australia were always a team that we really struggled against. And as youngsters coming into that side, I could feel that pressure and almost that scarring of the past. So any win against Australia slowly but surely helped us to start building those blocks, which ultimately led for us to sort of get back into that rivalry and start winning as well. So it shaped me more mentally than technically from a batting point of view, I'd say.
Thank you, AB. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Thank you. These are lovely stories that you are sharing with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move from these moments that defined the sport to the people who defined how this game should be played, as we present our next set of awards for the greatest cricketer of the 21st century, female. May I please request Mr. Aaron Finch to join us on stage to announce the winner.
Just seeing all the videos go on there, it's pretty amazing how quick people can forget. I didn't realise Australia had no part in World Cups in the last 25 years, so that's been quite good.
Now, our editor is not biased at all.
That's okay. Let's get on to the real stuff. And this perhaps is the easiest award that you will ever have to give out in ESPN Cricinfo history, in sports history, in the women's game. This person, she became the youngest Australian ever to play international cricket. She would go on to become one of the most dominant players of her or any other generation, as well as a global icon in her game. An 8-time World Cup champion, 3-time winner of the Belinda Clark Award, 3-time winner of the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy, and the ICC Female Cricketer of the Decade from 2010 to 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest women's cricketer of the century, Cricinfo Honours, Elise Perry.
Thank you, sir, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, she couldn't join us here, but we have a wonderful video and a message from her, so let's please take a look.
I think in the scheme of what's been an amazing generation for women's cricket, it's certainly a huge honour to have been a part of that. Incredibly grateful for Cricinfo and their acknowledgement of, I guess, just the importance of the women's game and you know, how far it's come in that space as well. So to be a part of that is really lovely. Well, I think since I started, every year has been new and exciting, and I think got bigger and sort of grown exponentially on the last year. So I think to have been a part of that for as long as I have, and to see the amazing change that's happened in that period of time, and then I guess the challenge that's come with that in terms of trying to get better and improve my own game and be a part of a team that I truly love playing for. All those things are so fulfilling. So it's been so easy to be a part of it for the time that I have. And equally, I'm really grateful that I've had that chance to see so much happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now to present the award for the greatest cricketer of the 21st century male, I welcome on stage Mr. AB de Villiers. Welcome, sir.
All right, it's my great privilege to announce this award for one of the game's greatest ever. South Africa's broad-shouldered, immovable, relentlessly consistent colossus for nearly 2 decades, combining the output of a world-class top-order batter with that of a frontline quick bowler. That pretty much gives it away. The numbers alone place him amongst the game's immortals. More than 10,000 runs each in tests and ODIs, 52 international hundreds, and nearly 600 international wickets across formats. Always dependable, ruthlessly efficient, in each discipline of the game, the pride of the Proteas for 2 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest men's all-round cricketer of the century, Cricinfo Honours, Jacques Henry Callis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Callis is not here, but we've put together a video and we have a message from him to all of us. Thank you, AB. You can take your seat. Thank you.
Cricinfo, thank you very much for the nomination and award. Something, like I said, I'm very proud of. We'll look back with a lot of joy. And hopefully it inspires lots of young cricketers to try and achieve the same. While you're playing, you know, you're trying to do the best that you can, both individually and for the team. And yeah, so certainly I'm very proud of my career when I look back at it. Yeah, I like to think that there are a few things that were missing from my career, a few things that you know, really chuffed with how we achieved. But I look back at my career with a lot of pride. I think particularly in the way I played the game more than what I achieved in the game. And you know, I always said at the end of my career, if I can pick up the phone and phone someone overseas that I played against and have a beer or a Coke with them, then I know I played the game in the right spirit. So far, so good.
उनके डांस को मिलती पप्पी झप्पी पर बॉडी की साधारण बैटरी हो सुई सैडली दोस्त ने दी फिर क्विकली एवरी अल्टीमा बैटरी बॉडी हो गया स्माइली फिर मिली ताली पप्पी झप्पी
बच्चों के टॉयज को दीजिए एवरेडी अल्टीमा का अपग्रेड एवरेडी अल्टीमा 400% longer lasting.
What happens when the game changes? You keep moving. You keep slaying. Keep celebrating. And if they keep talking,
Keep them talking.
because no matter how far you've come, you keep walking.
Ladies and gentlemen, in India, cricket has become more than just a sport. It's a dream. There was a time when playing cricket as a young kid meant, you know, gully cricket. But today, every city, every town has the infrastructure to bring out some of the best cricketing talent. And as you know, we're setting this up. This is another panel discussion now. 15-year-olds are taking on the biggest players, and bowlers from remote towns are shining in big stadiums in big cities. And this is the India of today, where it goes from here in the next 25 years. Let's find out what the answer to that is. May I please welcome back on stage Raunak, R. Ashwin, Mr. Irfan Pathan and Mr. Tom Moody. Welcome, sirs. Let's give them a big round of applause, everyone.
Oh, this one will be short, don't worry. This will be short and fun. You need to stay. Check. Yes. Is it fun around? Okay, we'll just remove.
Raunak, would you like me to just help you get someone from there? Oh, I could sit down. I'd add no value, but
if
I
you
can
go
sit
close
down.
to the chief selector again, no, he'll give you one straight. Yeah. So why are we here? What's this panel? Indian cricket's 25-year blueprint. Show of hands, how many people here feel Indian cricket has so much going for them? Resources, talent, no, absolutely nothing really to complain of. They should dominate cricket for the next 10, 15 years. Like we saw an Australian team dominate in the 90s, like we saw a West Indies team dominate in the 70s and 80s. How many people believe that is the expectation of India? Win back-to-back World Cups, be #1 in Test cricket. How many people genuinely believe that is the very bare minimum expectation? Okay. And if it's only, say, now they've won back-to-back T20 World Cups, is that good enough? Or how many people here believe, no, I want this Indian team to go back to being a dominant Test team at home, win overseas as well? All the Cricinfo staffers behind. Anybody else? Ishan as well, very good. Mr. Maestro, excellent. Anyone? Bish? Did you put your hand up? No. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So I guess that is the huge situation Indian cricket finds itself in. Tom, Ash, nothing is enough. When you win one World Cup, you have to win the next one. If you actually don't, if you make a final, you're almost considered that's the bare minimum. Semi-final is a given. I mean, it's a tremendous bit of pressure, but you can understand why that expectation gets higher and higher each year. We've seen the resources, we've seen the talent pool. Tom, you've worked with a bunch of experienced or sort of exciting fast bowlers, the super giants. Ash, Suryavanshi has been mentioned about 20 times tonight. Indian cricket wants to know, what does it keep in mind? Because this feels like a seminal moment. What do we need to get right to make sure, firstly, we get back to being a test dominant team and continue an era of dominance that only a few teams in the game's history have shown us? Let me start with Test cricket, because that's a concerning point as of now. What does this team need to keep in mind?
Look, I think for starters, first-class cricket needs to be attractive enough for people to take up, which I think the BCCI has made an attempt in terms of trying to revamp the salary structure for them. I wouldn't think that Test cricket is just a problem for India alone. I think it's a global problem.
Sure.
Are they being incentivized enough to take up the red ball game? It requires a lot of hard work, Raunak. You travel from place to place, 4-day games with 3-day breaks in between. Bodies are being battered. You're consistently having to recover. And for what? When you can play over a couple of months and pretty much settle a living for yourself. So it must be attractive. I think, but that said, having played Test cricket, putting my body on the line, I would say the culmination of a Test match, to be able to draw that sort of a feeling at the end of it, nothing can beat it, nothing can replace it. But I just think at a grassroots level and at a first-class level, the game needs a little bit more incentivization. I also believe junior cricketers should be groomed by slightly old-fashioned coaches if you are serious about Test cricket.
Would you like to weigh in on exactly that point? I'd like to know your insights when you work with young Indian cricketers now. How many of them genuinely have that as part of their plans? Like, okay, let's become a good red ball cricketer.
Well, I think the main issue is that what is celebrated is the white ball game, particularly T20 cricket. I think we've got a responsibility as administrations, as broadcasters, as fans to put Test cricket at the pinnacle. I know, for instance, all players that I speak to, young and old, look at their idols and look at themselves and think, I'd love to be recognised, number one, as a great Test cricketer. T20 cricket is like fast food.
Is that true for the up-and-coming bunch too?
100%, I'm sure it's true. Yes, there's the other side of it where what can I get out of white ball cricket? How much money I can make? But to me, that's where it's lost a little bit. I've heard tonight that used quite a lot, the financial side of it. To me, it's beyond that, and we need to celebrate that, educate right down to grassroots, that it's more about who you're representing and the pride of who you're representing and the value of that cap. And I think that's just got a little bit watered down. And I know the landscape of Test cricket in the future will change. It's inevitable because of the economics that Ash spoke about earlier. That's inevitable, but we must preserve and celebrate the small window that maybe Test cricket may have in the future and put that very much at the pinnacle, because to me, to master Test cricket, and those that have one next to me, there's plenty in the audience, that is the ultimate test of a skill, physically and mentally and technically.
Can you coach that into these kids? I'm sure your responsibility when you work with an IPL franchise or with the white ball team is coaching them into skills that are completely at odds with what they will need to be successful Test cricketers. So where will we even see, can we expect all format players? Can Suryavanshi play Test cricket? Should he even play Test cricket?
I personally think he should. If you're thinking for the larger good of the game itself, I think he should. But that said, Raunak, I would say there are a lot of parents here, right? A lot of cricketers turned into parents. Is it possible to teach your children what they are not willing to learn? It's just not. I think the ecosystem is driving these things. And sometimes when the game is teaching you what needs to be done, it's better we follow what the game is telling you. You just cannot enable the facet of the game. I understand where Tom's coming from. I do believe myself personally, just having hung my boots up, that Test cricket is the pinnacle. But I've been at the grassroots level of coaching for a long time, Raunak, and I've had an academy since 2012. I don't see cricketers turning up wanting to play the red ball. It's literally like I need to find resources for them to come out there, defend with the red ball. I mean, they defend twice, and they want to learn shots that will get them out of trouble. And the old-fashioned, that's why I said, and look at another example. In this IPL alone, how many times, I'm talking about coaching standards, how many times have you found young cricketers throw the ball into the dirt in the first over of the game? What is that telling you? It's telling you that's a lost art of the game because they don't play enough red ball cricket.
If you did that when I was learning my cricket, you'd be penalized for that. And that's exactly why I said old-fashioned coaches must be teaching kids when they're starting to play the game. Because these are as basic as it can get, and it's a lost art right now, as it is, already.
So, I'm still confused over here. You're saying that we need to incentivize kids into playing red ball cricket, one.
You need to basically, what I'm telling you is you need to basically force them into playing the game.
You need to force them into playing red ball cricket.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You're saying that they still want to play red ball cricket.
Not everyone, but certainly I think they recognise that it is the pinnacle, and they would look back on their career when it's completed as wanting to be recognised as an elite Test cricketer against an elite T20 player.
Okay. What is the responsibility of, say, an administration, of a board like India's, all the resources it has? Is it simply let's up pay for the red ball cricketers? Will that ever possibly match the pay that they get in white ball cricketers? Does that become an incentive point? Will that make kids want to learn what you believe right now they don't want to learn?
I don't want to write this in stone and say this is how it's going to be, but for starters, Test cricketers need to come on the basis of having played first-class cricket. I know it is, at one point of time, playing all three formats of the game was very exciting. But there are still cricketers out there playing first-class cricket who want to play the game at the highest level in the Test format. That sometimes, unfortunately, due to what happens around and with amount of talent Indian cricket has, miss out on the Test bus. If that continues to happen, how are we going to incentivize them by playing first-class cricket for a span of 15, 20 years with the kind of living they'll have to do and the lifestyle change they'll have to do? Test cricket, as of like what Tom said, needs to go through a little bit of an evolution to try and keep it relevant. As we are talking, I think 3-4 nations are probably playing the best Test cricket that you can see. How are we going to keep it relevant for a longer duration of time? I'm a serious fan of the game, Test cricket as such. And I do think it is at the culmination of something that needs to happen in a very emergency fashion.
I think the other thing to consider is I think the administrators have got a responsibility as well with regards to just simple things about the pace of the game. You know, to watch a Test match and see 25, 26 overs in a session, you know, it to go into overtime. We know time is valuable for people today, and even it will be even more so in the future. So why don't we have a greater discipline around the speed of the game, so it does become a little bit more dynamic, it does become a little bit more interesting, and there's other ways to incentivise it with regards to the rewards for success as a nation. You know, if you are successful as a nation, that will force the administrators to drive their program in red ball cricket to make sure that we want to be, you know, known as an elite Test side, you know, because there's huge financial rewards and accolades for doing so.
Okay. I'd like to still believe that there is a lot of selection that is based on performance in red ball cricket, is it not?
Look, Ajit is here.
I know he's here, therefore I'm saying it.
I didn't intend it that way. What I'm trying to refer is, let's just take for an example, right? Let's look at Aussie cricket a little bit. We've got someone like an Oliver Peak, right?
Right.
He might go on to play Test cricket. He might go on to play whatever in a bit of a hurry. He's had a great under-19 World Cup. But in India, you don't limit it with Oliver Peak. Look at the number of contenders. You've got Yashasvi Jaiswal. Vaibhav Suryavanshi is going to throw his hat in the ring. You've got Abhimanyu Ishwaran, who's made a lot of runs waiting for a Test call-up, right? You've got somebody like, I forgot the Delhi batter who plays for Vidarbha at the top of my head. He's made a lot of runs. And there is someone called Danish Malewar who's made a lot of runs in first-class cricket. How many of them eventually go on to become successful Test cricketers playing for a long duration?
The room, Ash, you have Jaiswal and KL Rahul, no?
Absolutely. I didn't bring them into the conversation because they're incumbent Indian Test openers. So how are you going to make it fascinating for them to take up the sport? Look, it makes it a lot more easier in some other parts of the world, which I think England and Australia are you know, through the Ashes are flag bearers of Test cricket in many ways. And of course, we need India, New Zealand, and probably South Africa to jump in it to keep the health of the sport intact. But how are we going to make these guys motivated enough to take up first-class cricket for a longer duration of time? You see a lot of cricketers moving states, wanting to play the Syed Mushtaq Ali, wanting to play the Vijay Hazare. And why is that? Because at the end of a Syed Mushtaq Ali, there is an IPL auction. At the end of the Ranji Trophy, there could be a Test selection, But how many of those cricketers playing in 37 or 40 teams go on to represent India in test format?
Okay.
It's a simple math.
That's one side. I know we can have this for a long time. But
Okay, and you've got a presenter there. He just presented the show some time back. I was on it. I was on the panel. Abhinav Mukund.
Huh.
He's about probably 33, 34. He's retired. And why do you think that's happened?
Geostar pay him very well.
Possibly. He knows he doesn't want to play first class cricket till 40.
Yeah, now they can't match that. Geostar pay for the IPL. Yeah,
Sometimes examples are right in front of our eyes. We just miss not
I take your point. Look, I think it's a responsibility for the board in all seriousness to make sure good talent is not lost, right? But this is a conversation that I'm sure will require a little more nuance and detail. The other side of it, if we can just very quickly address, is we have a surplus of riches for white ball talent, and that everybody knows now. My God, even when the team wins World Cup back to back, it is like, now let's change it up. It's actually an extraordinary situation. What do you sense this excessive talent pool of India leaves for an administration to do to ensure that even if a World Cup's in Australia, even if they play in foreign conditions, that India continues to have the tools to succeed because it has the resources to succeed? What does the player management need to ensure here?
Look, I think one of the things that can be considered, and this sort of links to the previous conversation, and that is that the success of T20 cricket for a player can't be just defined through IPL and through T20 cricket domestically. Maybe there needs to be a policy, or whatever you want to call it, where the gateway is through Ranji Trophy. So yes, you've sort of Anshi we've talked about and we'll continue to talk about, but yeah, his journey has started through T20 cricket. We've all seen, him sort of being birthed to the game through T20 cricket, but maybe if there was some sort of policy that we'd like to see, him through, the gateway of Ranji Trophy, the success that's required through red ball cricket, and then that opens up all your opportunities to represent your country. Not just through the one vehicle, through a snapshot of 2 months of cricket where you think, wow, this kid's incredible. Yes, he is, but we have a longer term vision with regards to our cricket as a country, and we feel that they need to, as in the players, need to go through the Ranji Trophy as well, be successful there, understand how to play the game over 4 days, understand how to bat for a day. He'll probably get 500, but still understand what that's like, because that is the pure essence of Test cricket.
Okay, I think we leave it there just in the interest of time. I assure you this conversation is far from done, but it's a conversation worth having, as we will over the period of time, given what the promise and potential of Indian cricket is. Ashwin, thank you very much. Tom Moody, thank you very much. Mr. Agarkar, we don't envy your job, but we do thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
दो टॉयज थे चड्डी बड्डी, उनके डांस को मिलती पप्पी झप्पी, पर बड्डी की साधारण बैटरी हो सोई सैडली दोस्त ने दी फिर क्विकली एवरेडी अल्टीमा बैटरी, बड्डी हो गया स्माइली फिर मिली ताली पप्पी झप्पी।
बच्चों के टॉयज को दीजिए एवरेडी अल्टीमा का अपग्रेड। एवरेडी अल्टीमा 400% longer lasting।
What happens when the game changes? You keep moving. You keep slaying. Keep celebrating. And if they keep talking,
Keep them talking.
because no matter how far you've come, you keep walking.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for our final set of awards. To start with, the greatest bowler of the 21st century. May I please request Mr. Tom Moody to join us on stage to announce the winner. Let's welcome sir with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Needs to be a touch higher. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, sir. I tried fixing it and I just left it midway.
That's right. 1992, nearly 34 years to this day, this unique talent bowled his first ball in international cricket against Australia in a side that I was fortunate enough to be in. Even before that, in a tour game, when the great Alan Border struggled to pick this unknown spinner, you can tell there was something truly special about him. He would go on to become undeniably one of the greatest bowlers of the game, a journey that saw him overcome many hardships and prove many critics wrong time and time again. Instrumental in Sri Lanka's rise to champion side in 1996, I had the good fortune to work with him both at international and franchise level, and it's been an absolute pleasure. An astonishing 1,340 international wickets and nearly 1,100 of those in this generation. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest men's bowler of the century, Cricinfo Honours, Mataya Muralidharan.
Good evening, everyone. I'm humbled by this prestigious award by Cricinfo and wish all other worthy recipients many congratulations on their great success. I regret not being able to again, unfortunately, convey my best to everyone present, as well as Cricinfo. Thank you.
Very sweet message there, ladies and gentlemen. And now, for the last award of the night, the greatest batter of the 21st century. And to give away the award, I would like to welcome on stage Mr. A.B. de Villiers and Mr. Anil Kumble. Welcome, sirs. Let's give them both a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Anil, sir.
It's an honor to be making this presentation. It really is. Because of his batting goes, he was undoubtedly the gold standard of batting for the game. The most complete batter of his time, most probably still is, the most prolific run maker of all time, and arguably the biggest cricket icon the game has ever known. His batting was based on the purest principles, and his considerable achievements seem greater still when looked at in the light of the burden of expectation he had to bear. He still remains, by a distance, the most worshipped cricketer in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest men's batter of the century, and Cricinfo and Anil Kumble will honour now.
No, I had the great honor of playing alongside with him, a great privilege, and a teammate who certainly didn't take his primary skill. I'm glad that his primary skill was not leg spin bowling, otherwise I wouldn't have been there. But he was someone who we all looked up to, the whole nation looked up to, and the time that he walked in as a 15-year-old, and till the time that he finished the game 24 years later, and all those wonderful records that he did, I think the most important aspect of this great man is his humility and the person that he is. Congratulations, Bharat Ratna Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar.
Sachin sir, before we hear you speak, you've given us so many incredible memories over the years, and now we'd just like to play a few of them back here for all of us to see. May I please request Mr. Sambit Bal to please join us on stage, sir. Welcome. Let's give sir a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So that's for you.
Yeah.
So I'll hold it. Thank you.
13 years ago, we were on a similar stage when you won the Cricketer of the Generation. And nothing seems to have changed except that we are both father-in-laws. It's amazing that even though half of your career was in the last century, you have been chosen by your peers to be the greatest batter of the generation. How does it make you feel?
Well, first of all, a big congratulations to Cricinfo. I think it's a remarkable achievement, what you've been able to do for the last 33 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I started playing cricket as a 3-year-old, picked up a cricket bat like any other kid, enjoyed the game, loved traveling all across the globe, and 50 years down the line, I have that beautiful trophy, in my hand, and then what makes it even more special is the players that I've played with and against. As a jury, you have thought that I'm the appropriate name to lift the trophy. Very, very humbled by that. I really appreciate it. It makes it even more special. I know that every time I went out to bat, there were a number of bowlers who challenged me, but at the same time, there were a number of batters also who in their own ways challenged me. And that kind of pushed me harder than ever to try and keep up to that level that I aspired to be. And I felt it kept me on my toes in a way. So all the batters who've actually their names were also part of this list. I would like to say that this is an opinion from the jury, and I'm very, very humbled. I accept this with deep humility and gratitude. Thank you so very much for that. I've been in the foreground, doing my things for 24 years on the field. But the background, they chose to be in the background, and then support. And that's my background. My wife, daughter, now the daughter-in-law, as you mentioned, the coaches, my family members are at home. So all of them, without all that, I would not have been standing here. So I'm truly humbled. So thank you so very much for this.
It's an honor to honor you. In fact, I remember in 2001 when we did the first award in London, you won the popular choice and you were there too. And Anjali was there, I remember too. So it's been a long journey, 25 years. So what we have seen over the course of the night is that it's been truly a celebration of multi-format cricketers. And the winners have had a significant test career. That's been the strand. Even AB won the greatest T20 batter, or Bumrah. But tell me, what will it take to produce this kind of all-format excellence in the next 25 years?
See, the game is evolving, and we need to accept that the game is going to continue to change, because also the rules have changed, the formats have changed. And in that, from a batter's point of view, what I can tell you is, something which I feel is the most important factor for a batter to be able to adapt to all different formats is the backlift. I think the bat swing, the downswing, the moment batter is able to control the downswing, then I think one would be in a position to conquer all formats. Yes, T20 demands a lot of aggression, ODI is somewhere in between, and Test cricket tests a lot of things. The most important thing along with that is also being flexible in your mind. Adaptability. If you do not accept the given situation, if you don't have the peripheral awareness, then it becomes difficult. I would always be wary of a decent player who's willing to respect conditions and bat accordingly, rather than someone exceptionally talented and not willing to accept conditions and bat the way he's used to. And that would be a most important factor which will separate a batter who can go out and perform in all formats. I'll just give you, by downswing, I'll just give you an example. I posted a tweet some time ago on Jasprit Bumrah. I think it was during the World Cup where he had beaten a couple of batters with his slower ball. And I posted a tweet that they play the ball first, they get dismissed, and then they read the ball. So what I meant was the downswing did not change. The downswing was coming at the same pace. The moment you start controlling the downswing, then you are in a position to control the game. And in Test cricket, one will have to defend. Some stage you have to defend the ball. So long as a batter is able to defend properly against a quality fast bowler on front foot, I think that batter will be successful at any level, more so in Test cricket.
So a lot has been, of course, said about Vaibhav's bat swing and downswing and everything. If Vaibhav's parents called you and asked you, what advice will you give him to become an all-format cricketer?
I would tell him just be himself. You know, there is always a first time. And, you know, if in Test cricket, along with age, he will learn how to deal with various challenges. And just now, I think Ash also spoke about, you know, having a solution-oriented mindset. Problems are always going to be there. Problems will be there till the last day of your career, till the last ball that you face. Bowler is asking you a question every ball. Now, what solutions do you find? Where he's kind of a player who looks very confident, very, very sure of what he wants to do. And I wouldn't want to play around with his natural instincts, because the way he sees the ball and the way he responds to that, if that signal is interrupted, if you put a lot of hurdles in between that by telling him multiple things, that's where the real challenge would be. I would give him the freedom to go out and bat the way he does. Yes, along with time, he will learn to deal with other things, other challenges of the game. But at this point of time, I'll
But you would like him to play Test cricket?
What's that?
I said you would, of course, like him to play Test cricket for India.
See, when Ajit is sitting here, I better be careful what I'm saying. I'm not a selector. But, you know, not just me, but everyone would want to see him some stage. I don't know when that is going to happen. But an exciting talent needs encouragement. And if he's doing well, then we need to encourage and support him and enjoy above all, and not put pressure on him constantly, you know, he should play this, or he shouldn't be doing this, or he should be picked in whatever squad. Leave that to the guys who are responsible for that.
Ajit, no pressure. So we have had a bumper batting season in IPLs. And of course, we as broadcasters love it because more sixes, more fours, more viewers. But there has been a feeling that there's been too one-sided. And the contest between...
Sorry.
It's been, you know, the one feeling is that it's been too predictable, 200s getting chased all the time. Do you see there's anything that we can do to redress that balance a little? In T20, in IPL, in T20 particularly?
Yes, I feel, first of all, I mean, there are a few things which, on a personal note, that I can say. I think the impact player needs to go away. That is my personal opinion. I feel when in a T20 format, you just have to play 20 overs and then you are adding one more batter to that lineup where bowlers are already being challenged. I find that imbalance. The second one, maybe a suggestion that the power play of 6 overs with field restrictions, only 2 fielders allowed outside the ring. Let the first 4 overs be batter's power play with same field restrictions, and post that the remaining 2 power play overs should be determined by the fielding captain as and when he wants to take. But those 2 consecutive overs will also get 1 fielder extra outside the ring at any stage of the game. So, you are able to control the game better. That's my personal feeling. And 1 bowler should be allowed to bowl 5 overs.
5 overs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you would invariably, the best bowler of the side is going to bowl that 5th over. Wouldn't you want to see that best bowler bowl more?
Of course.
The top batters are batting sometimes even 20 overs. Why shouldn't the best bowler be bowling 5 overs?
Yeah, true. So we'll briefly come to the one-day game, which is like a middle child everybody has forgotten, even though I'm a middle child. But even though it remains the biggest event in cricket, it's the cricket that creates memories. It's the event that everybody it makes the most money. But there's again a sense of monotony that has set in ODI cricket, and it's got to do with, again, it's becoming predictable. Bowlers not having enough say. There are 2 new balls, which perhaps doesn't allow the ball to age at all. And what are your views on that? How does the 2 new ball work in ODI cricket? What does it do?
The 2 new balls my generation you're talking about. 1 new ball. No, I think like I said, that there have been changes in the game, and the two new ball change was, I felt, slightly difficult for bowlers to deal with, because what happened by introduction of 2 new balls, we lost reverse swing in the game. I don't know, how many guys remember a fantastic reversing spell which was bowled in a 50-over match? It's rare. I've seen matches earlier where bowlers actually use that reverse swing to come in the middle overs and pick wickets. I have seen fast bowlers bowl with a slip in the 45th over because the ball was reversing. What it does, 2 new balls, the ball continues to stay hard. The ball is, the batters are going to get more distance when they are. Nowadays, we spoke about the ability to hit the ball, the ability to clear the rope, and with 2 new balls, the ball continues to stay hard. Batters are comfortably clearing the ropes. I felt, with 1 ball, the difference was, I wouldn't want to name the person, but the guy was sitting next to me and he said, what is the difference between 2 new balls and 1 new ball? And I said, you see these 4 towers, the floodlights, put off 2 towers. He said, the visibility is going to be dramatically less. And I said, that is exactly what happens as the game goes along. The visibility, when a batter is picking a ball, which is only 1 new ball, the visibility gradually starts going down. And then it reaches a point where the batters had to complain to the umpire that I cannot see the ball. Please change the ball. But by then, there were anyways few overs bowled with that condition of the ball, which also reversed. It got soft, and above all, which not many guys may realize, but less visibility, that means less scoring options. That means batter getting less reaction time. Batter picking the ball slightly late, which is marginally softer, and it also reverses. I think those challenges were there. I remember, again, having a conversation with Ashwin some time ago, because he is the one who's played in both formats. The earlier rule where you were allowed 4 fielders, and then the other one where 5 fielders there in the ring. And I said, what was the challenge that you faced? And he said, my lines changed, because as an off spinner to a right-hander, I have to bowl a ball which is marginally outside the off stump, hoping that I create that bat pad gap. But with 5 fielders restriction, I have to kind of settle for middle of line and hope that the ball goes to either short square or mid-wicket. And if not, then it's a single, because otherwise with 5 fielders in the ring, you have either your long off up or deep point up. And that kind of gives an opportunity.
Also, the ball never gets really old for spinners, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play with 2 balls, then that will not happen. But I felt that bowlers who were looking to use reverse swing, that element has gone out of the game.
Yeah, Waqar and Wasim who played reverse swing.
There were so many other bowlers. I mean, today I feel, as you said, that there is that period in between where nothing much is happening. It's because there is no reverse swing. But when there used to be reverse swing, the bowlers were brought back to pick wickets, to give breakthroughs. Today, I think, Bumrah would disagree with me, and rightly so. There are few bowlers who come in between and challenge batters. But otherwise, if you are able to bowl decent overs, which is like 5.5, 6 runs and over, the captain is happy.
Thank you. I can't, of course, let you go without a plug for Cricinfo. So, what's been your relationship with? How do you view Cricinfo in the world of cricket? What is the place of Cricinfo in the world of cricket?
I started my career in 1989, and you started in 1993. 93. Yeah. So, right along, we were companions. Though I did not follow during my playing days. I did not follow or read much. A little bit here and there I did. But post-retirement, I had the freedom to read your opinions, and the way you covered, I thought it was magnificent to educate the audience, to keep them engaged, to provide them correct information with interesting comments, some interesting articles. I thought it was extremely enriching. Above all, I think it is about keeping the cricket community together and to make that family larger. And for that, I think all of you have played a massive role, so big congratulations.
Thank you. And of course, in keeping with our new gen content, which your children might appreciate better, we'll do a little fun segment to end the evening with. We'll ask you to choose between your innings, your favorites. Let's see. We had a lot of trouble compiling this. But we have chosen some. If we have forgotten some, please forgive us. So it's called Winner Stays On. So you have to choose between 1 and 2. Whichever you choose stays on. Okay. All right. So we'll start. Old Trafford 90 versus 82 versus New Zealand in your
first 100.
First 100.
Old Trafford, yeah.
Okay. Old Trafford versus Cape Town in 1996.
I would say first 100.
Okay. Old Trafford versus Cape Town 2011.
Possibly 2011 Cape Town, because that spell that Dale Steyn and Monomocle bowled to us, one of the most interesting sessions of my life that I've experienced. Gautam was the non-striker. So I have to rate that, because for 58 minutes or so we did not rotate the strike.
I know.
I played Dale Steyn's spell and he played Monomocle. So
actually, Dale has written a very lovely piece on you, which is on Cricinfo tomorrow. I'll send it to you.
I'll read it.
So, okay, Cape Town versus 200 in Gwalior.
Possibly 200 in Gwalior, because it happened for the first time.
200 in Gwalior versus Chennai 99.
I would stick to 200 in Gwalior.
200 in Gwalior versus Chennai 2008.
2008. Chennai, because there were difficult circumstances for India. This was just after the terrorist attack, and England graciously came back to play against us. It was a difficult time for us, and for almost 3.5 days, we were not competing hard enough, I felt. We were trying our best, but we were not in the game. England was taking the game away from us. And from the fourth day evening onwards, we started coming back in the game. And we were challenged. I mean, we had to chase 375 in the fourth innings with top 5 bowlers. I think it was Harmison, Anderson, Flintoff, Panesar and Swan. So proper attack. And we were able to win that. And above all, we were able to give a reason to all the people to at least smile for a second. One sight which I'll never forget was once we won the test match, a lady groundswoman actually came on the field and shook hands with me. And that's never happened in my 24-year-long career.
Wow.
Sit down, sir.
No,
I'm
used to standing long hours on the field.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
Don't
cool.
worry.
I'll take the shot.
Okay, we'll finish quickly.
I know I'm 53, but much better than you think.
Okay, so we'll finish soon. Chennai 2008 versus Sydney 2004. 242.
What's that?
Chennai 2008 versus Sydney 2004, which was 242.
242. I would rate Chennai above anything else. For me, that's the most important innings of my life.
Shall we skip the other ones? Or?
You can. I would say so because that innings means a lot to me. It has a
Chennai
special
2008
place.
versus Perth 1992.
Perth was a good innings, but no, Chennai. It's Chennai right up there.
2008 was a Desert Storm.
Importance-wise, nothing beats Chennai. I think it was about India and nothing comes about.
So I think we can skip this. This is the winner. Thank you, Sachin.
Thank you.
We're done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sachin, sir, for answering so many questions. That was lovely. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Sachin, sir, while you drive home tonight, please make sure you lock your doors nicely from inside. Otherwise, Sambit sir will find a way to get in and ask you more questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you what an honor it's been to share the stage with these icons of cricket. I swear it to God, Sachin sir, not you, like God. I never thought I'd have anything to do with cricket, but this sport is so inclusive. It doesn't matter what background you come from or who you know. All that matters is how much do you love the sport. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us this evening. Before I say good night, I have a moral and monetary obligation to thank our partners. Performance partner, Eveready Ultima. Love your batteries. Celebration partner, Johnny Walker Lux Blended Water. That's what we drink with Johnny Walker, right? Water. And Jindal Stainless, India's leading stainless steel producer. I love their steel. My name is Danish Sait. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Thank you very much.